Welcome to this seminar. Ready to lead your district? Are you ready to lead? And if you consider yourself to be a future vice district governor for your district, then this is where you should be. This seminar will explore how you should prepare, what you should be ready with, and what you should know about serving in the position of a DG team member. And presenting this seminar would be past International Director Manoj Shah of MD 411 from the country of Kenya. Till some years ago, Africa was a part of our constitutional area. Though it's a separate constitutional area now, but Manoj is always a good friend of the Lions of India, of the Lions of MD 322. He's widely traveled. He has the perspective of Lions in different constitutional areas. He has served as the group leader on the DG seminar on a number of occasions at the Lions International Conventions. He understands what service programs and building partnerships is all about. He knows what leadership really means in a district, what it really counts to be able to contribute as an elected leader in a district. He will share his experiences, and this is going to be a wonderful learning experience for those who are contemplating being vice governors in the near future. So enjoy this seminar, and as the seminar progresses, feel free to post your queries to the presenter by entering them in the chat box. And you will hopefully receive the responses from the presenter on a live basis. So friends, let the seminar begin.
Good evening, Lions of Multiple District 322. I am Dr. Manoj Shah, past International Director and Global Action Team Constitutional Area Leader from the great continent of Africa. I wish to take this first opportunity of expressing my sincere thanks and appreciation to past International Directors Sangeeta Jatia and AP Singh for inviting me to participate in this historic virtual convention. I know that these are trying times for Lions and others all around the world as we all fight the COVID pandemic. But nevertheless, it is very heartening to see innovation at its height and MD 322 taking the lead in organizing their 47th Multiple District Convention virtually. My heartiest congratulations to all the organizers for organizing this virtual historic convention. I am sure that all the delegates and participants in the 47th Multiple District Convention of MD 322 are having an experience of a lifetime which will take time and will be there written in letters of gold in the history not only of MD 322 but also for Lions Clubs International. This evening, I would like to share with you a few of my thoughts on leadership for the future. I know that there are many of you who are ready to lead the district in one and many ways. Your elections this year have been done. Your leaders of your districts and multiple districts have been elected, but nevertheless, there are many of you who are aspiring for various leadership roles in the district, and this evening it is my extreme pleasure and privilege to share with you my views. Every day of our lives, in some way or another, we experience the opportunity to lead or follow. And looking at the sustainability of our clubs, our districts, and our international association, we must identify a new generation of quality leaders to lead the district in one and many ways. In order for each one of us to be successful in our professional and personal lives, it is essential that we are able to recognize the qualities of a good leader who knows when to lead and when to follow. It is our duty as leaders to help define who our future leaders are and help them reach their fullest potential. And this can be done in various ways through leadership training, succession planning, and mentoring. If done correctly, this will help us in establishing a solid leadership foundation for the future. There has always been a debate that whether leaders are born or leaders are made. And I would like to read a quote from Anon. The quote says, "I have read the obituaries of leaders, but never have I seen a birth announcement for a leader. I can only deduce that somewhere between birth and death, by training, by choice, and by strength of character, people become leaders." And this is my conviction that good leaders are made and they are not born. If you have a desire and willpower, you too can become an effective leader. Good leaders develop through a never ending process of self study, education, training, and experience. And just to share with you my example, I have been a lion for over 35 years and a lion leader for the last 18 years. I have not stopped educating myself, training myself, and getting the necessary experience. At any given opportunity, I attend webinars, I attend training sessions, I visit districts, and every time I go out there, I only learn something new. In addition to that, to inspire your teammates into higher levels of teamwork, there are certain things you must know and do. However, these do not come naturally, but are learned through continual work and study. There is no shortcut to becoming a leader. You cannot go into an elevator, press a button, and climb very fast all the way to a leadership position. You must learn how to climb the stairs. Good leaders are continually working and studying to improve their leadership skills. They are not trying to take it easy. As an example, in your multiple district, you can see all the leaders of your district. An example, Sangeeta Jatia, AP Singh, Vishnu Bajoria, and others. They are all there continuously working and studying how best they can do things differently. And this virtual convention is an example of their unique leadership skills of organizing. Leadership is a process by which a person influences others to accomplish an objective and directs the team in a way that makes it more cohesive and logical. Leaders carry out this process by applying the leadership attributes such as beliefs, values, ethics, temperament, knowledge, and skills. These are now more than before important to identify and encourage new leaders to come up and climb the leadership ladder. The question is, do we need leaders? And to answer this, I would like each and every one of you to consider how life would be different without leadership. Start with your own families. Think about your own families. If there was no leadership in your family, how life would be different. It would be totally different. Look at education. And when we talk about excel in education, how life would be different without leadership in education. Many of you are in businesses. You run your own organizations or work with organizations that you know. And when we talk about businesses and businesses without leadership, think about it. How life would be different if there was no leadership in business. Would they survive or would they become extinct in a very short time? So, talking about families, talking about education, talking about businesses, and relating leadership, which is most critical to service associations such as the International Association of Lions Clubs. If there was no leadership at club level, at district level, at multiple district level, at Lions Clubs International, just think about it, that how life would be different without leadership in Lions Clubs International. And that's why it is important that we develop and choose effective new leaders. And by developing and choosing effective new leaders, it's important that their decisions will affect how we operate in the future. New leaders also play a role in how we as an association are perceived by others. Leaders' actions directly impact on membership. And we have seen this many a time at club level, zone level, regional level, even at district level. You have a good leader in your clubs, and members will stay. Members will be happy. New members will be encouraged to join. And the same applies to zone, regional, and district level. If you have a dynamic vice district governor or a district governor, believe me, it has a direct impact on the membership of the district, on how new clubs are formed, new members are brought in, members' experience, membership satisfaction. All this rely on the effectiveness of the leader. In addition to that, we have all seen, and many of you have witnessed, that if we follow ineffective leaders, we may become ineffective ourselves. And many a time, this is truly a problem not only in clubs but also in districts, in multiple districts, and at Lions Clubs International. You just need one ineffective leader, and believe me, you're going to make hundreds more ineffectively because of your ineffectiveness. A good leader is one person that can make a major difference. As all of you are ready to take the leadership mantle and you all are ready to lead the district, one question I would like all of you to think about and maybe ask you, that do you have the basic leadership skills to become a successful leader? And when we talk about basic leadership skills, the first and foremost basic leadership skill of a successful leader is communication. And being a leader of many years, it is my conviction that communication is the key to successful leadership. If you are a good communicator, believe me, the rest of your task is so much more easier and you will have many followers. And when we talk about communication, it applies at all levels. In addition to that, another basic leadership skill that you as a leader must be able to deliver is motivation. And as a leader must be motivated and must be able to motivate others. We have always talked about that success not only comes alone, but comes as a team. And as a leader, team building is so critical if you want to be a successful leader. And talking about the African proverb that many of you may have heard, if you want to go fast, walk alone. If you want to go far, walk together, and that is team building. Being a future leader and being a leader, one of the things that you will be faced with is problem solving and conflict resolution. These are there whether we like it or we don't like it. In any organization, it is very critical for a leader to be successful, and for him to be successful, he must be able to manage problem solving and conflict resolution in the best possible manner. One of the other basic leadership skills, which today is so important and so critical, is change management. We have all seen in the last 58 days, in the last 60 days, the whole world has changed. Because of the COVID crisis, there are so many things that have changed and are changing at a rapid pace. And what I can see that in the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, our lives are going to be totally different. And that is change management. The world is changing at such a rapid pace, and you as a leader must be able to adapt to this change, and not only adapt to this change, but to ensure that the rest of your followers that you lead are also in sync with you as far as change management is concerned. One of the biggest leadership skills of a great leader is to be creative, is to think outside the box. And by being creative, by thinking outside the box, you will be able to see leadership in a different perspective. There are so many new things to be done out there. And like Shiv Khera, the great speaker, once said that leaders don't do different things, they do things differently. And that is creativity, thinking outside the box and doing things differently so you can get a major impact. As all of you are ready to lead, I also want you to be aware of two types of leadership. One is the formal leadership, where formal leaders are those that are elected or appointed leaders, such as international directors, district officers, club officers, district governors, vice district governors. These are all formal leaders who are elected or appointed. But this evening, I just want to share with you a thought as you are ready to lead the district, to also think that there are so many informal leaders out there. And when we talk about informal leaders, these are the leaders who are those lions who do not necessarily lead by virtue of authority, but rather by demonstrating the practices of successful leaders in meetings, planning, and project work. We have seen this especially with young members, new members in Lions clubs in districts, that there are so many informal leaders that when given an opportunity, they really shine out there, plan events, plan meetings, plan service activities, do projects in the best possible manner, and show and demonstrate their leadership values. And these are the informal leaders that have no official title or authority, but demonstrate tremendous amount of leadership ability in performing the tasks that they are given to the best of their abilities. And these are the informal leaders that we must spotlight, make use of, and develop them into from informal leaders to formal leaders. And that should be our objective as leaders. Talking about the circle of leadership, and as you all are aspiring future leaders, you must understand the circle of leadership and you must be able to implement the circle of leadership to the best of your ability. One of the things that you as a future leader must understand is that leadership should be a continuous process for every organization that commits to a succession plan. Because leadership is all about a good, a great, and a robust succession plan. Leadership continuity is a process that requires 6 major steps. And as a future leader, to ensure your commitment to leadership quality, it is highly recommended that you follow this circle of leadership process, which is really simple as you understand it. Assess the present. See that by you taking the leadership role, what is there that you are acquiring presently by becoming a leader. And having done that, as a leader, assess the future needs of your district, of your club, of your region. What is it that you need? A needs assessment. And that is so, so important because that will determine what your plan and your program will be. In addition to that, as a leader and as a future leader, you must be able to establish a succession planning program. Because as soon as you take up the leadership mantle, one of your biggest roles would be also to start planning for your succession. Identify and develop individual talent. We talked about the informal leaders just a few moments ago, and there are so many out there that if you have the ability, you can identify and develop many of these who have individual talents to do certain things for you, resulting in you becoming a successful leader. Always, always, as a future leader and as a leader, evaluate and reward. Believe me or not, there are 2 words that mean a lot to a lot of people, and that is thank you. Never fail to recognize people who have performed, people who have worked. Always recognize them, reward them, and believe me, there are many out there who do a lot of things, but just because they are not recognized or just because the 2 words thank you are not told to them, they sometimes get demotivated, demoralized, and hence performance decreases. But by really implementing the evaluation and rewards and recognition policy, you'll be able to motivate and get the best out of your leadership. One of the other aspects as a future leader and as a leader, always make a commitment to leadership continuity. And this really is extremely important because once you start thinking that once my leadership finishes, that is the end of it, it is the wrong thinking. You should be thinking about continuity. That when you finish your leadership, when you finish your tenure as a vice governor, as a district governor, how is the leadership of the district going to continue? How is the leadership of the club going to continue after you have finished becoming a club president? How is your successor going to be better than you? In fact, as a leader, I am of the strong conviction that you are not a successful leader if you do not ensure that your successor is more successful than you. And this is so critical and something that you must consider before you take up the leadership mantle. ready to lead the district. And here we have talked so far about all the positives. At this point in time, I would like to talk a little bit about the negative aspects about ready to lead the district. And talking about misdirect the spotlight. The spotlight can be misdirected and shine on lions. And this we have all seen many a time when unqualified or poor leaders are elected or selected. We have seen this in clubs, we have seen this at zonal, regional, at district level, where many a time leaders are elected or selected who do not have the necessary qualifications. At the same time, when we talk about these poor leaders, many of them do not reflect the ideals of Lionism. And one of the bad examples is that many leaders do not lead by example. One of the most terrible aspects of a poor leader is threatening other leaders. And we have seen this many a time. And we have unqualified leaders who make negative comments or personal character assassinations on lions and other groups. And of course, there are one category of leaders who use manipulative or controlling or dictatorial methods. We also have some leaders who want to lead, but they only want to seek office for power alone. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, and many of you are aware of what I'm talking about, is that as you are ready to lead the district, this is a demotivating factor because this is the biggest killer at all levels of our association and a very big reason why many people, especially young people, do not want to take up leadership positions. At the same time, when you're ready to lead the district, let us also think that why do we need to develop new leaders and make sure that they are trained, they are qualified leaders. And we have seen that there are times, many a times, that the torch is shining on the same lions day in, day out, 365 days a year after year, for years on. We have seen that there are many leaders at club level, at zonal level, at district level, who are overworked, who have been doing the same job over and over and over again. At club level, there are many clubs that are recycling their club presidents, secretaries, and treasurers. In districts, they are the same lions for years on that are given the same opportunity to do the same work. And these are the lions that are overworked. And that's why we say that putting the torch on the same lions sometimes is detrimental to the growth of leadership. And when we bring in new leaders, these are the new leaders that can reduce the burden on some of these old leaders who carry a heavy load. And most importantly, this is very, very important for the sustainability and continuity of our association, of our clubs, and of our district. At the same time, when we talk about developing new leaders, many of us have also seen, and especially in my part of the world that I come from, leaders very quickly get out of touch and get burnt out. And this is a true fact. When somebody has been in the same position, in the same portfolio for many, many years, they very soon get out of touch as to what is happening in the new and real world. Some may be out of touch with the needs of membership and the communities we serve, and this is very detrimental, especially to the membership growth of our association. Many leaders, especially the old, are obsolete in their thinking and the way of working. And many a time we have heard the very strong phrase that it's my way or the highway. And these are the kind of leaders that we don't want. And there are leaders in clubs, in districts, who are not ready to change. And that's more than one reason why we need to develop new leaders if we want our association to grow and sustain itself for the future. In addition to that, I am a firm believer that as you are ready to become a leader, new leaders come with fresh ideas, come with a lot of enthusiasm. Every new individual contributes a unique set of experiences, ideas, and values. New leaders also bring a high level of enthusiasm. They want to do a good job. They are determined and they want to prove that they are worthy of the leadership position. In fact, many a time you will see that when you bring in new leaders into the club, into the district, you will see an immediate change. And that immediate change has come as a result of the new leader's enthusiasm, as a result of the new leader putting in fresh ideas, bringing in new things, invigorating members of the district, members of the club to do new things. And that's why you see an immediate change in the way things are run. There are three questions that when you who are getting ready to take up a leadership mantle, where are we going? How do we want to get there? And who will take us there? So when we talk about where we are going, it is very important for us to think that do we know the vision and mission of our club, district, and association? This is so critical because if you do not know where you are going, you will never be able to lead successfully. In addition to that, you also must be able to establish the goals that you want to attain as a leader. Because if you don't have a goal, you will never be able to give your leadership to achieve anything. Most importantly, as a leader, you will also, how do we want to get there? You need to plan to get there. And talking about plans, what plans? Both strategic and tactical plans will allow you to reach your goals in the most effective way possible. The question, who will take us there? Ladies and gentlemen, it is always said that for you to be successful, you will definitely need the support of your members, members of your club, and members of your district. These are the people with whom you will give your leadership abilities, and they are the people who will take you there, who will make sure that you achieve and attain your goal. It may be current members, but it also has to be future members to keep our association viable and going. Where are we going? I am a firm believer that good leaders must first become good servants. As a leader, you must learn how to lead by example. You must be ready to serve your members and work with potential future leaders to help them make successful. Like in our own professions or trade, if we work from the factory floor into management, then only we understand the practicality of decisions that we may make in the future. And this is where I always stress the importance of grassroots lions. It is always said and believed that whenever grassroots lions coming right from the bottom, climbing the leadership ladder, are made as some of the best leaders for our clubs and for our association. A little while ago, we talked about how do we want to get there. And in we must lay a solid foundation for both current and future members. Succession planning ensures that a member has been developed and is ready to step into leadership role as the opportunity arises. We need to communicate. I talked about it earlier on as to why communication is the key to success. However, as a leader, we need to communicate the process by which decisions are made, the requirements needed to make these decisions, and the benefits from the decision making process. If you can communicate this effectively, I can only assure you that you, as a leader, can give successful leadership to all the people that you lead. At the same time, as a leader, we have to maintain focus on the end goal. A lot of leaders make the classical mistake. They have a goal, they communicate the goal, whether it is effectively communicated or not, but they most often lose focus on that end goal, and at the end of the tenure of the leadership, the goal is not achieved, and they scratch their heads and wonder why we have not been able to achieve the goal. If you don't maintain focus on the end goal, you may not be able to achieve your goal. At the same time, a good leader always simplifies the process of making decisions to move our clubs, zones, regions, districts, and association forward with leaders who are prepared. Always prepare your leaders. Training, 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 and more training leads to successful implementation of your goals and programs as a leader. Who will take us there? It is leaders at all levels who have a responsibility to encourage potential leaders to complete the 4 levels of the Lions mentoring program or some form of mentoring that will help them and give them the courage to become leaders. In addition to that, it is leaders at all levels who encourage them to take the next step and seek office within Lions and let them know that you support their efforts. It is leaders who encourage them and support their efforts to attend institutes, seminars, forums, and conventions. And as leaders, at all times, remind them that if there is a one-stop information stop for Lions, that is the Lions website that can only increase leadership offerings online in the Lions Learning Center and the Lions website. There is so much information that is available there. All you need to do is to go in and search and get the necessary information that you need as a leader to give your leadership. We are very privileged that we also have the Global Action Team, and under the Global Action Team, we have the Global Leadership Team structure, which is now in place as a vehicle to enable potential leaders to be spotlighted. When we talk about planning to succeed because you are ready to lead, what is leadership planning? This is something that you need to understand as a leader, and that is having the right people in the right place at the right time. Leadership planning should always be an ongoing process of identifying and developing future leaders. Leadership planning is also an opportunity to create standards for qualifications and competencies for future leaders. And leadership planning provides an understanding to members of the potential leadership paths available and development needs. Going forward as a leader and to plan for the future, leadership planning really needs to begin the moment a new member walks through the door at their first meeting or at the new members orientation session. And I firmly believe that whenever a new member joins, there is always an opportunity for him or her to climb the leadership ladder. You also have to identify your resources, your members, by identifying the individual strengths and abilities when they first begin their Lions journey. Often, a biodata introducing a new member to the club's members during a new member's welcome will provide clues as to a person's interest. No one is a perfect mold. Assist members to succeed, and they, in turn, will seek more challenges. Developing future members, you must, in addition to encouraging members to take leadership training, management, and other seminars, experience-based learning is a valuable tool as well. Always ask them to take on small leadership opportunities and build from there, and this will allow their confidence to grow. By doing this, you are creating a comfortable environment in which members can test themselves and develop. Whenever you are developing future leaders, always provide development opportunities, delegate and relinquish power to your members, and this increases their strength and, as I said before, builds confidence and encourages members to take risk. As most of you are aspiring to be leaders in one way or another, the responsibilities of leadership and the cardinal rule of successful leadership is that as a leader, always leave tracks and pave the way for those who will follow. And as a leader, leave things in leave things better than you found them. Make things easier for those who will follow, and always share lessons learned. And these are the cardinal rules of successful leadership. To conclude, identifying a new generation of leaders and reflecting upon membership, I just want to share with you that when we identify a new generation of leaders, we don't just mean a younger group of leaders, we mean a cross-section of lions who reflect our overall membership, who respect each other's talents and skills, and who collectively can guide us now and in the future. I just want to close by sharing a quote with you by Rosalind Carter. And the quote says, "A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go but ought to be." Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patient hearing, and I hope that my presentation has been beneficial to you, and I wish you all the very best as you attend this historic MD 322 virtual convention. My best wishes are with you. God bless you all, and let's keep Lionism alive. Thank you.